Hello and welcome to my studio. I'm Jessie and this is the Knit Up and Dye podcast, episode 115, Bite Size World. As always, I'm going to start with my thank yous and I have my cheat sheet handy here. Special thank you goes out to all of my subscribers, both new and ongoing. I love you guys. What you see here is all about you. Your questions and comments, your emails and messages drive what I talk about and what I show you. So feel free to send me a message. Special love and thanks go out to Monica, Nancy, Rachel, Leanne, David, Donna, Amy, Tara, Diane, Allison, Barbara, Adriana, Wayne, Patricia, Lisa Lette, Cappy, Jorge, Kath, Benty, Christy, Needsy, Charlotte, Roseanne, Linda, Marie, Betty Ann, Scott and John, Kate, Janet, and Terry at Unwound. I love you guys. Much love goes out to my Zoom family, Robert, Juanita, Paula, Brian, Katie, Eve, Jamie, Jen, Elizabeth, Shirley, Roz, and Nicole. A warm hello and thank you goes out to all of my patrons. You make this possible. Thank you. From the microphone to the lighting, this is about you guys and I appreciate all of your support. Life. Why am I calling this my Bite Size Your World? Bite Size Your World. Well, it's easy to get overwhelmed. Very easy. I'm not going to lie to you. This is the fourth time I'm filming today. The first time, I forgot to turn on the microphone. And so I sat here for an hour and I talked and not a word of it was recorded. The second time I did it, I had the camera on, I had the microphone on, everything was good, except I forgot to hit record. And I was a good half an hour into it before I realized it. The third time I recorded today, unfortunately the battery had gone way down on my camera here. And so I plugged it in and I was going to soldier on and I filmed another episode that I wasn't really proud of because at that point I was stressed and I was rushed. And when I put it in the computer, because it was hooked up to the battery, it had this horrible tick, 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 tick sound that went through the whole thing over my talking. And it was miserable. It was miserable. And the microphone, there's the word I'm looking for, actually died. The battery in it died about 3/4 of the way through that. So my whole day has been a challenge. I had a lot of other things that I needed to do. And I actually was dyeing some yarn for some swag that I'll talk about later. So there wasn't time, and I have an engagement this evening and I'm trying to do everything. And as one of my dear friends pointed out to me today, I'm realizing that I'm not Superwoman and that I need to take some time to sort out my world and get healthy and take things in some smaller bites. I've talked to you guys for the past 2 weeks about being depressed. This was a new depression for me. It was a little bit different because it was visibly obvious to people around me before I even really felt it. And I pay a lot of attention to my depressions. I learn new things, new coping mechanisms every time. And one thing that stood out to me that I realized just this past day or two was that I had stopped making lists. Lists are very important in my world. I love my lists. I have lists for everything. My husband teased me about my lists because I have lists for groceries and I have lists for what I'm going to do on the weekends and I have lists for things even in my job, my daily duties, so that I'm sure I did everything I was supposed to do, everything I wanted to do. I have gift lists and I have colorway lists and I love my lists. I have notebooks everywhere of lists. But I haven't recently been making lists. And I think that has been a huge contributor to my feeling overwhelmed. And so I'm going to make some lists. I realize that this is a side effect to my depression where I just feel so overwhelmed that I stop doing a lot of things. And list making was one of them. I never realized that I actually was eliminating some of my coping mechanisms. So today I made a list after the third attempt at filming my podcast. and I'm getting a lot better. I'm getting healthier. Thank you to everyone who have sent me messages of care, of concern, messages of support, sharing your own stories. Thank you. You're not alone either, and I appreciate you reaching out to me and reminding me that I'm not. Good things are happening though, and I am feeling better. I'm feeling better. I think I'm looking better too. A couple of people commented that I look happier, so we're headed on. I'm going to bite-size my world a little bit more, and if you're feeling overwhelmed, maybe it's time for you to take smaller bites too. I always put too much on my plate, and that's just one of those life lessons that I haven't fully learned yet, but I'm trying. That's what matters. What have I done? Let's kick off into why you're really here. Let's talk about crafting. So, hand spinning. Haven't touched it. I really wanted to. I had made promises that I was going to break it up into small bits and I was going to have little bits available. I've been working on other projects, and so I just haven't dedicated time to it. I've been knitting though. I did get some knitting done. I'm currently working on the Brickyard sweater by Elizabeth Doherty. I love this pattern. I love this pattern. It's very, very well written. It's very logical. Oh, I love that. There's no complicated at the same time stuff going on in there. It's a beautiful design, and I'm making progress. I would love to have this done in the next couple weeks. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I'm trying. This is my progress to date. I am down into the body. This is a top down in the round seamless. There's a couple tiny seams, but seamless. No big long mattress stitching or anything like that. Features of this sweater are, we have this beautiful brickwork pattern along the yoke. We have some faux seams where you pick up along the shoulder, and it does this beautiful, sorry, I'm fighting with mirror imaging here. It does this beautiful faux seam here. Just a lovely, lovely detail. There's short row shaping in there to angle the shoulders, and she does this beautiful braid. Do you see this right here? It's done in an arch across the chest and the back, just above the bust line, before it goes down into stockinette in the round in an A-line shape. I love it. I love the yarn that I chose. This is Supernatural Yarns by Shannon Shaw, and the colorway is Acromantula Colony. She dyed it up for me. I contacted her for a special order for a sweater quantity. She dyed it up for me on her Kraken DK base. That is a super wash 100% merino base, and I couldn't be happier. It is pooling a little bit despite the fact that I'm using two skeins simultaneously. I don't care. I love it. I think it's going to be really pretty even with the angles of the pooling on it. I'm looking forward to wearing this as casual wear with jeans, dress it up a little bit with some leggings, and I'm really happy with how it's coming out. I had a progress keeper in here, 3 versions of this ago, and I can just barely still see where I had it. It was right there. I did about 2 inches of progress on this, not a lot, but this progress was all done this morning over coffee with my husband while it was raining outside. It was so beautiful. It was a beautiful, calm morning where I got to just sit and knit in the round, on and on and on and on and on. And it really made me happy. I made good progress on it, and it reminded me how much I loved it. It reminded me how quick and easy the body of this is going to be, and now I'm inspired to work on it. Another little feature of this that I did want to point out, and I'm sorry I missed it when I was talking about features, she does have a faux seam down the sides of the body, right there. You see this? It's really a lovely little detail. She's very detail oriented, and the instructions are very detail oriented as well, where she tells you what you're doing, and if you're making edits, she tells you where to make the edits and tells you where to repeat the edit, which is important. When you're working fronts and backs, you got to know where you did it. I would highly recommend this pattern. I'm looking forward to knitting it again, actually. I think if this fits as beautifully as I think it is, I think I'm going to need a couple of them, which I don't usually repeat a pattern, but this one's well worth it. I'm really enjoying it. I've also been knitting on a new design that I'm working on, And if you're a member of my Patreon program, you're getting some exclusive blog posts about that with some photos. The photos, unfortunately, have been taken mainly in my car just before I go into work. I do have a little bit of extra knit time right then and there, and I have an opportunity to post to you real quickly. The light at 7:45 in my car is not necessarily the best, so you're not getting true vision of the colors of that project, but it is beautiful, and as soon as it's done, we're going to get some real quality photos of it so you can enjoy the colors. I look at the posts and I'm like, oh my god, that looks so yellow. Oh my god, that looks so purple. Oh my, it never looks quite right, and I know it's about the lighting, and I want to apologize for that, because if you're looking at it, a couple of those photos, you might really question my vision on those colors. But I'm working very hard to finish that design really quickly. It's using a couple of the exclusive bases that I'm taking to my trunk show up at Unwound in October, and I really wanted to have a pattern with me that used specifically those bases and showed how compatible they really could be together. I'm not going to talk a lot about that. That's exclusive material, and if you're not familiar with my Patreon program, please pop on over and take a look. The exclusive content there is accessible for as little as $1 contribution a month, and there's great benefits to it. There's coupons for free patterns, there's a point system if you want to earn some free yarn from me, and there's other coupon exchange opportunities there, as well as anytime I do a promotion, you get double entries into my giveaways. So be watching out for opportunities there as well. What else have I been crafting and working on? I showed you guys that I finished my Through the Clouds shawl. It's a crochet project. Rachie Newen was the designer. I have it folded up exactly where I left it last week. I haven't had a chance to block it, mainly because my blocking table has been completely covered in yarn that I've dyed up for the trunk show at Unwound. Just last night, my husband and I finished twisting those up and labeling them, and now it's about boxing them and getting them ready to ship. And we're going to have an extra special twist this time up at Unwound, where usually I sneak in and I unbox everything before you guys get to see it. This time we're going to have a ticketed event, a party, pre-show, where you get to come in and help me unbox and get first dibs on colorways. Some of the colors are limited. They are on exclusive bases that I've never taken there before, and it's going to be first come, first serve. Come on in and have a party with us, unpack. We're going to have some snacks, and we're going to have some special swag that we're developing, and we're going to play some games. I think we're going to have a great time. If you're interested in attending, please contact Unwound up in La Crosse, Wisconsin, and they will sell you a ticket to the event and give you more information. Let's see. I've done this so many times, I can't remember where I am. Dyeing, like I said, I did some dyeing today. I dyed up the last of the swag skeins for the exclusive event up at Unwound. We're going to have some beautiful, beautiful yarns there. And now I'm going to really be able to focus, finally, with the trunk show completely out of the way, including all the special giveaway stuff. I'm going to be able to focus more on filling up my shop even more. There's a ton of product in there right now, and there's a lot of it on sale. This is my 3rd anniversary of my podcast, and I really want to thank you guys for that. When I did my pilot episode and I put that up on YouTube, I thought, what a lark. I never thought that anybody would follow me. I never thought anyone would subscribe. I never imagined, I hoped, but I never imagined that I would meet you. And I have made wonderful friends through this. I have met beautiful, beautiful people. I've gotten ideas. I've been inspired to design. I've been inspired to try new techniques, all because of the people I met through this. And that is everything. You are my knit community. You are the people that I sit down and craft with, that I choose to share my work with, that I expose my design ideas to, that you feed it. You're my friends, and this has been just the most wonderful experience for me, and I'm paying that back. I'm having a sale all month long, rotating items. Different items come on sale each week, different items fall off sale each week, but the minimum discount is at least 15%. Pop in, take a look at my shop. I've got a whole new reworked website now, a whole new shop online at diemonkeyyarns.com, and I'm trying to fill it with really interesting items for you, and I've got some new fun things coming. I'm working with other crafters to build other product lines into the store so that you can pick up project bags and stitch markers and baskets, and all kinds of fun things are coming. We're really working to build a neat experience there. And in addition to that, I'm doing some giveaways. I've talked to you guys for the past couple weeks about the giveaways, and I've shown you some of the prizes. This week, I'm giving away Knitting the Chill Away. This is 39 cozy patterns for the whole family. It has hats and scarves and sweaters and socks and pillows. It's a really beautiful, beautiful collection. My favorite pattern is this one right on the cover. I think that is just stunning. Someday I'm going to knit it. I don't know when. Someday I'm going to knit this. And I really love the variety in this book. This is a very cool knitting book because it has color work in it. It has some things that are accomplished with really basic skills, and then it has some skill builders as well. And it's beautifully photographed. I believe a number of different designers are represented in this. Really love this book, and I'm super excited to say that I drew the name yesterday, Saturday, and the winner is Wayne Yar. Wayne, I'm sending this out to you. Thank you. Next week, I'm going to be drawing a name for this book, Reversible Knitting, 50 Brand New Groundbreaking Stitch Patterns by Lynn Barr. It's a Stittionary, but it's more than a Stittionary. It's a Stittionary with patterns in it as well. And reversible stitches are so cool if you're going to make like a cardigan or if you're going to make a scarf, because the wrong side is still a right side with the reversible stitches. That's what makes them so neat. And sometimes the back side of a stitch is just as pretty, if not prettier, than the right side of a stitch. And this book really makes a point of showing you that. I love it. I am always so inspired by Stittionaries, that's the word I want to use. Just, they give me so many jumping off points and ideas. And I know a lot of people are really kind of afraid of working without a strict pattern that tells them how to do things. But the reality is, if you have a really basic pattern, as long as you match gauge, you can substitute any stitch pattern there. And I encourage you to give it a shot and play with this and see what you can do. So the book drawing, ha ha ha, is based on entries, of course. And to enter this book drawing, you need only make a purchase from my website of $10 or more. That gets you an entry into the weekly drawing. My entries are cumulative, so each week's non-winning entries roll over into the next week's drawing. That's important. That means that if you bought something at the beginning of the month, you could still win a prize at the end of the month. Cool, huh? So, prizes are going to ship to the delivery address on your order at no additional charge. Be sure, if you're buying a gift for someone, and thank you, what a compliment that is. You not only love my yarn, but you believe somebody else will love my yarn. Thank you. I am so honored by that. But if you're buying a gift and you would like to win the prize and have it actually go to you, please make sure that in your order you leave me a message or you send me a message that just says, hey, I'm entering, I have a qualifying purchase. I would love to win. If I win, could you just send my prize too? Give me your address so that I don't send it to the recipient of your gift. That's important. Patrons get double entries. Don't forget, my Patreon program is designed to pay you back for your support. So every patron gets double entries for that, for the giveaway, if you make that qualifying single purchase of $10 or more. Also, we have a grand prize drawing. The drawing's going to be October 1st. We all love project bags. We all love yarn. I have this beautiful ensemble I'm gonna reach for it, sorry I'm making noise, of a project bag with yarn. There's stitch markers in here. There's one of my Die Monkey etched glasses in here. There's some little emery boards in here, and other goodies are gonna land in here. You know, I always add more to it. That to win, if you want to enter to win that, you get 1 entry for each skein of yarn you purchase, regardless of the size of skein of yarn. Each skein gets 1 entry. So if you buy a 50-gram skein or you buy a 100-gram skein, doesn't matter, either one is an entry. You get, an extra entry opportunity. Sorry, I'm reading this list. The extra entry opportunity is by posting a picture of any of my yarns that you own, any of my patterns that you're working, any project that you've done with a yarn or my pattern, anything that represents Die Monkey Yarn, post that to Instagram. Be sure to use @DieMonkeyYarns and the hashtag KUAD Pod3Party when you post to Instagram. It's important that you have those tags in place there so I can find you. I want to make sure that your entry is seen. That gets you an extra entry into the grand prize drawing, and again, patrons get double entries. There is small print on this, guys. I'm sorry. This is open worldwide, and I want to be sure you all know it is open to everybody on the planet. I don't care where you live. Prizes will be shipped to the delivery address of the qualifying order or the address that you give me if you bought a gift. The winner is going to be responsible for taxes, tariffs, or custom fees assessed by their home country. There's not a way for me to prepay that. There's not a way for me to pay taxes in England for packages or gifts received. I will do everything in my power, as this is a gift, to market as such and have it valued in such a way that you are not gouged by taxes on this. However, there may be fees assessed by your home country if you receive the package, and I will do everything in my power to make it well worth that for you. Also, and I want to be sure that I'm very clear about this, if I'm having a sale, if I have a sale and I have an item that's 15% off and you're one of my patrons and you've earned a coupon or you've won a coupon from some other giveaway, you have an opportunity to stack that. What that means is if the item is already discounted and you have a coupon, that coupon doubles up on it. So if an item is 15% off and you have a 15% coupon, you're ultimately going to get 30% off on stuff. Those coupons are valuable. If you have a favorite item in my shop, be watching it. You never know when I'm going to change that one to a sale item, and you may be able to get a really deep discount on that. I have one other giveaway that's going on, and it's going on through next week. So we have a little bit more time and a little bit of an opportunity here before this drawing happens. It's not even a drawing. It's not a drawing. So I have a friend at work who is going to have a little girl in end of December, beginning of January, and I want to knit a sweater for the baby. I'm going to try to knit a sweater at the 1-year size. Newborns have a ton of gifts that they receive. There's so much clothing and so many cute things, and they grow like weeds, so they wear them 2-3 times. The reality is she'll be 1 year old next winter, and that's a good time for a sweater, I think. So I'm looking for suggestions for sweater patterns with a 1-year size. And you can message me any way that I'm here, whether you leave it down below here on YouTube, on my blog spot, over on Ravelry, anywhere below where you're watching this video, or email me or message me on Instagram. And give me your suggested pattern, where I can find it, if it's available on Ravelry or if it's available over on Pattern Fish. And I'm acknowledging when I get an entry for this, but I'm not looking at them too deeply. After I close this off next Saturday, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to look at the patterns and I'm going to choose my favorite. And whichever one is my favorite, I'm going to knit that pattern. You're all going to get to watch me go through that process, and I may learn new skills. Who knows? That's the fun of this. That's the challenge of this, is you're choosing what I'm going to do. Either way, my favorite pattern, the winner, whoever suggested it, is going to get a 25% coupon, well in time for this month's sale as well. So we're talking deep discounts. I'm really excited about this. It's her first baby, and I really want to be sure that I knit something beautiful for her. My request is that your suggestions be a knitting pattern. I just don't have the crochet skills, and I want to knit love into this, not swear crochet into it. Personal shame right there. That's all that's going on. There's so much going on, and it seems like a lot, but if you keep a list and you do it in small bites, it gets a whole lot easier, doesn't it? Right? Last week, I showed you guys, I received a gift from my friend Terry. There was a happy Podiversary, there we go, Podiversary gift, really fun stuff that she had ordered me a surprise box from Archie McPhee. And their stuff is always fun. Unfortunately, a catalog came with that, and I was sorely tempted. They have some neat items that I really wanted to try out. I'm a sucker for weird candy. I don't know why. I do know why. I have dietary issues, and so I have fun with food where I can, and I try to appreciate flavors where I can. And they had some candies that have really been tempting me for a while, and I bit the bullet. I finally just decided, okay, I'm going to order these. And so I got my order. I brought in some bacon candy, and I brought in some pickle candy. And like I said, I've got dietary issues. I don't eat gluten, and I don't eat dairy. And one of my favorite foods, well, they make a macaroni and cheese candy, which I broke into earlier today, and I had a piece, and it was pretty good. It's weird. It's really weird because it's sweet, it's a candy, and yet it tastes like macaroni and cheese. And they had one other that didn't come in a collectible tin like this, but I was tempted, and I dove in. I did it. Pizza flavored candy canes. How can you not? How can you not? It's pizza flavored candy. I'm really excited to try this. It's weird, I know, and there's an evil and dark side to this. I have a candy jar on my desk at work, and I recently discovered that somebody's been helping themselves, and I don't know who that is, but in the words of Archie McPhee, any one of these candies would look completely at home in a crystal candy dish. And so some of these are going to land in my candy dish, and it's one of those things that you either love it or you hate it. So either all of them are going to disappear, or the rest of my candy is going to stop disappearing. And they're definitely an experience. It's kind of like the Birdie's Ever Flavor jelly beans from Harry Potter, in that you get some really wild flavors, and you know what they are, but you're not sure whether you're going to like it or not. There were a couple other fun things in my box. Of course, they always include a rubber chicken, and this time I got a glow-in-the-dark rubber chicken. I'm excited to power that up and see if that worked. How well does this chicken glow in the dark, and how scary is it that a rubber chicken would glow? And I bought myself one other gift. Candy and flowers, they're really beautiful and nice and all, but they're one of those diminishing gifts. They run out or they die. So I got myself kind of a forever gift. They have these pins, and this one just gives me joy. This one makes me happy. Look at that. Little monkey with a fez, and he's got this beautiful little happy smiley face on. I just adore him. I can't wait to add him to my project bag. He makes me happy. He makes me happy. So that's my weirdness. That's the little things that I did this week for myself, and I'm knitting up a new design for you guys, and I'm working on my sweater, and I'm making lists, and I'm getting better, and these are all good things, and thank you for joining me on that journey. I'm going to go edit this podcast. I can see this time the volume meter tells me you can hear me, and I'm going to go ship some orders as well. And oh, I wanted to let you know, I remembered something, and I had forgotten this every time I did this podcast before. The colorway of the month is up and it's in my shop, and I've created a new category in the items that says colorway of the month, and pumpkin pie is there and available for purchase until it runs out. It is, of course, one of those colorways that you may custom order. If you're in love with it, feel free to reach out to me and I will do a custom order of it for you as well. That's everything I have for you guys. Have a great week. I'll see you next time. We'll draw a winner of another book. Bye.